Hi there, thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I am here tonight to work on more improv piecing. So we improvisational pieced this block last night, and we're going to turn it into a chevron tonight, and we're going to make one more improv piece block. So thanks for coming in tonight, and thanks for watching the replay. If you're watching the replay here on Facebook, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, thanks again. Hello, I see you popping in here, all my live peeps. Thanks for joining me. I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's the time where we relax and we craft and we work on a project together for about an hour in the evening here. And we work through the project from beginning to end so you can see the whole process and work with me if you'd like. And we are working on the Charming Chevrons quilt by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. And we have the whole front of the quilt done. And now we are working on the back of the quilt. And for the back, since we had all these little chevrons on the front, I took all the scraps. I'm using up every single scrap just about from the front. You know, when we cut for the chevrons, I'd have a few scraps here and there. I'm using all of those scraps for the back, and I'm just piecing them all together. These are all scraps, piecing them together and then turning them into chevrons, just like the front. But they're going to be all different sizes, and it's going to be all a little bit more abstract. We'll have chevrons just bouncing off all over the back on the red. So we're going to have the red background. We've been using this bright red for our background on the front, and that's going to be our background on the back as well, with all these chevrons, PC chevrons popping up. So I'm going to continue that tonight, and we will just see what happens. We'll try and finish this chevron. Oh, Joe, you and Jane are tuning in together from Central Wisconsin. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Central Wisconsin, you guys are getting what we're, I think you guys are getting what we're getting today here too. We are in a winter storm warning right now. We might have another 8 inches of snow on our way, and it's going to be started with a huge layer of ice. Right now it is sleeting and windy. You might actually be able to hear it after a little while, just little pinpricky sleet sounding outside. So I'm planning on being inside for the weekend. It's going to be a crazy one. So all right, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going here. Oh, you can see all the laundry behind me too. It is a laundry day, laundry weekend basically. Yeah, it's not great here at all right now, Joe. It's definitely, we're getting all that crazy sleet. So here's, this is the one that we did yesterday. We have it all already with the square that matches it. So we need a patterned square and we need the red background square. So I got those ready to go. So I'm setting those aside and we're gonna work on that second square. So we actually need 2 because each one makes a half chevron. We need one going this way and one going this way, kind of like this. We have the pattern square and the red square. Those 2 are going to make 2 half square triangles here and here, and by putting them together you get half of the full chevron, right? So we actually need 2 segments to do that, and we finished the one last night, and then we were kind of on our way with one here. So I just want to press both of these and we'll sew together, and we are awfully close to a square here as well. I think we might need to trim it a little bit, but then we need to make the red square for this too. And we didn't have any red big enough, so without me having to cut a whole new piece, we do have this chunk here yet. So I thought I'd trim that to size, and then we have this little bit right here that looks like just about the right width that we could throw on top. So we'll actually piece this red as well, instead of me having to get the bolt out and cutting a whole new piece here. So all right, that's the plan. So starting out, let's give this a little pressy. So right over here to the wool mat. Try not to wiggle the camera too much. All right, let's just, I think I pressed this one already, but we'll just give it another little hit of heat. I kind of want to see if I can stretch it out just a hair, or make sure that the seams are really flat, because I think that second piece is going to be a little longer. So that's the first piece. And these are just all the scraps from working on the front. I've just kept them all, and now I'm just randomly sewing them together. I mean, these are it's a lot of selvages, and I'm not sure if I should have done that. You know, so all these selvages are going to be exposed on the back, but the back is kind of artsy. So, I mean, you know, if you get a little bit of a name of a selvage in there, or some of the lines of holes that selvages get. So, like, you can see, you know, right there, you can see that line of holes. That's typical on a selvage piece of fabric. The selvage is just the left and right edge of fabric, and that's the part that the machine grips to pull the fabric through during printing and everything else. So that's why those holes are there. At least that's my best guess. So it pulls, and it's a little different than the rest of the fabric, but I don't know. It's kind of fun, so we're leaving it. Bonnie, it is not snowing yet. It is like ice, rain, sleeting, and it's windy, so it's not great. It's actually kind of like the worst conditions. So it's supposed to do that all night, and then we're supposed to get like inches and inches of snow. So, and it's supposed to be windy. So they're in the storm warning. They're warning about that branches on trees might break because it's going to have the weight of the ice and then the weight of the snow plus the wind. So I'm hoping that's not an issue, because there's one branch on our big tree out front that a squirrel has been eating away for like years, and I am just afraid that is going to go one of these days and hit our house or something. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But that's always in the back of my head when they say that snow, or that watch the branches. So I don't know, we'll see. Yes, the holes give it extra character, exactly. Oh, your son is to fly into Minneapolis in the morning. Oh my gosh, Bonnie, make sure he checks. Man, I don't know. Make sure he checks his flight, because if we're supposed to get what they're saying we're supposed to get, I mean, you know, sometimes they're all talk and we don't get that much, but based on what we're already getting, just the wintry mix of yucky, he's going to have to double check that his flight is still happening, because I think really tomorrow is supposed to be kind of the worst of it, where we get all the inches of snow. But, you know, maybe it'll stay to the southern western end. They're kind of getting hit with it more than anybody, I think, right now. So if that's the case, if the bulk stays down there, then it'll probably be fine by here. I mean, I'm near the airport here. We're like, you know, I don't know, 10 minutes away or so. Oh, he's coming in from Orlando. Yeah, he should check his flight. Oh man, Julie, you got your Sulky kit with the craft text in the mail today. Wow, they were quick. That is awesome. Yay! So if you guys got my newsletter today, I put a link in there for the webinar with Sulky that I did on Tuesday. I put a replay link there. So if you wanted to, that's awesome. So if you wanted to work on it over the weekend, then you know, you can watch the replay. And with the replay, you can actually download the slides, like the actual slides that we put together. If you didn't want to watch the video, like if you wanted to pause or something, you can just download the whole thing and throw it on the iPad or something while you work or whatever. But there's a lot of little freebies and stuff on the replay. So cool, man. That is awesome that you got the kit already. So the kit comes with all the stuff that you need to make the actual pouch. So awesome. You'll have to let me know how that goes, Julie. Fun. All right, so here is what we are left with. Not quite square. I'm kind of curious how close we are to the original piece. pretty close. You know, we could, there's just a teeny hair here that we could actually add on to. And you know what? We could almost take this side. I'm going to just cut this side while we're at it. Could almost take this and add it to the other side, like flip it around. Oh, you're busy making a 3D pineapple bag. Oh my gosh, that sounds fun. Maybe let's square up these edges. I did this for the other one too. Let's just get everything nice and square, and then we'll worry about those other edges. We might add a little bit to it, but we'll see. See what we got here first. Getting a little bit more exact than what I did with some of those other chevrons, but that's fine. Some days you just want to be more exact and precise than other days. All right, trimming up this top. Oh, move the ruler a little bit. I think we're okay. Okay enough. All right, and let's, now I just kind of want to see from there, what do we got? As far as size of this thing. We just weren't square before, so here we go. Yeah, I could just trim this and maybe add it to this side plus just a hair. That'd be kind of fun. I'm going to do that. All right, so we are on, I think it was like 11 inches here yesterday. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's trim that up. I do have a couple more salvages if we needed to add, because this might be too skinny to add to the side. Yep, I think that's just too skinny. But it would be nice if we could add a little bit to this edge. Then it could be the same size of square as the other one. Let's see what we got in here. Geez, even this might be enough. Yeah, you know what? I think that might. Let's see. How much do I need on here? If we lose 1/4 of an inch, oh gosh, yeah, that's not getting us anything. All right, we need a thicker piece, but I don't think we have it. What we could do is sew these onto the side and then just trim. I think that might be a good idea. I might just cut this in half, or cut what I need. So I'm going to, all right, this will be kind of a goofy thing, but let's lay this on top and let's just add 1/4 inch to this. Or we'll just cut, oh, you know what? First of all, let's press this. Let's press both of these. I might just trim this up and make a tiny little edge for this. But let's start out by actually making them flat. Ooh, get a little higher for you guys. Could just cut this in half. I don't think they're long enough on their own, so maybe I'll just sew these together and then sew it to that piece, and then just whatever we have, we have. I think that's the plan. These are our 2 main pieces left, so let's start by just sewing these together like that. Kind of a weird way of doing it here, but you know, I'm just trying to get that last little edge on that bigger piece. And this is all we have left to work with, really. All right, just putting right sides together. Full speed. All right. Now let's press this, and we'll just sew it right to this big chunk that we're working on here. Just need to press that seam open. Wow, now we got this nice long piece. We could make a couple little small half square triangles out of this piece when we're done, I think. Kind of fun though. I like all these together. Okay, now let's kind of plan this out a little bit. I'm just going to add it to this edge. This edge isn't very straight, but we'll just kind of go like that. I'm going to sew this edge just to the end here. We'll have a lot of extra, but then we'll flip it around and press it, and then I'll trim. You know, we're just going to need a little tiny piece out of this, and that will be good. I may... Well, let's sew it on first, and then I'll trim it off, and then we'll press it. All right, back to the machine. I want to get the chevron-y thing done today, though. So, got to get this guy done. So these edges aren't quite straight, so I'm just making sure that the beginning and the end are kind of straight, and this little seam allowance here is just going to be a little longer on that side. All right, that's the end, and I kind of want to just pivot there. And actually, what I might do, since it's right on the selvage here, I might just, well, you know what? I'm not. I was thinking that I would just kind of seam rip this, but I'm not. I'm gonna just use this edge here because there is some fun little blue there that we might keep yet. All right, this we can use for something else. Don't know what yet, or maybe not. We'll see. This one kind of has that kind of damaged, holy selvage here, so maybe I don't even want to use this piece. We'll see. For now, I'm setting it to the side. Trim that little guy off. Hey, Debbie, did I lay it out on the floor yet? I have, well, I've not, when I started I kind of did, but now I haven't with all the new stuff, so no. But I want to do that soon. So after tonight I might start laying it out, thinking about the larger piece here. But no real layout yet. Still just randomly making these chevrons. Ooh, look, we made a pretty big rectangle here. That's fun. Okay. So now let's finish up this square. We needed 11 inches, and then we'll have this whole big extra piece. So we will have quite a bit left here. Okay, these other edges should still be pretty square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. All we needed was like a little, like 3/4 of an inch left on this, for this square. There we go. Now we have our square, our little piecey, crazy square there. I love these weird things. They're just so fun. So, all right, here's square number 1, square number 1, and square number 2. So these two together will make our full chevron. So now we need our red piece. We have the one red piece here that matches, but now we need the second red piece to go with it. So let's give that a go. Now, again, we do not have a piece that big, but we did have some scraps from some earlier chevrons. Like this is a nice long piece here. And I think maybe I'll cut this to the 11 inches, so this is nice and square, and cut the bottom edge, and then we'll just sew this guy. Man, this looks like it might be just 11 inches, this guy. So, all right, let's start out with cleaning this guy up. Yet he's kind of all over the place. So we'll give him some good edges here, and sew that other guy to it. So I'm just going to give it a good straight edge to start out. We're going for that 11-inch square, just because that's what our other ones are. Ooh, I keep moving the ruler a little bit. Time to put like new stickies on here, I think. All right, let's just shorten it up to the 11 inches first. That'll be easiest. Okay. Believe 11 is right there. All right, so we still have this big scrap left, which is great. We'll use that. Now let's square these up. Okay, and I think we'll just give that other side a straight edge too, just because it'll make that other piece easier to sew on, because this one was a little wobbly. Yeah, see, it cuts off a little bit there. So let's just go right like that, maybe. Okay. Now, where did that other little short piece go? That is up next. Okay, right there. So we should just be able to sew these together, and we'll press it, and then we'll cut that to the 11 inches, and we will have our pieced piece, our pieced red piece. You do one of the half rectangles. That would actually be kind of fun. I think for this one we'll stick to the half square triangles, but I think you're right. A half triangle rectangle, that'd be kind of a whole fun new way to do chevrons too. But we'll stick with this same theme here. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. It was Friday the 13th today too. Funny. All right. Back to pressing. All right. That's our square. This guy was pretty wrinkly anyway. Get that wrinkle in the center out. All right, so I could either kind of trim it off the top or the bottom, but I think I'll trim it off this top. All right, and 11 inches here. And we could trim it a little at the bottom too, it looks like. Okay, looking good. All right, so we have a little red strip left. Might use that for something, not sure. All right, we are ready. You know what, I am just feeling finicky today, so I'm gonna just trim this little teeny edge off too. There we go. Now it's a little more square. All right, let's start out by, on the wrong side, let's draw our diagonal line on here. Grab my little pencil. Oh, where did that go? Here it is. So I'm just drawing a line on the back because we're going to sew on either side of this line for the chevrons. And I don't know, I kind of like just drawing it on. I could put a fold in it, but this is working well, I think. All right, there, you can see the line. So that will actually pair up with this guy. So right sides together. And then we'll sew on either side of that line, and that will be 1/2 chevron. And the same with this guy. This guy we didn't iron, but that's okay. He'll get pressed real soon here. So another right down a diagonal. All right, there we go. And our second piece here. Oh, hey, Anne-Marie, thanks for joining. Joining live. We are still working on the Charming Chevrons quilt. Making some chevrons. All right, let's do it. We got our 2 pieces ready to go. Shimmy over here to the machine again. It's the bobbin graveyard underneath us here. Okay. So I'm sewing on one side of that line, 1/4 inch. Oh, thanks, Anne. Great. There we go. Full speed. All right, switch into the second piece right away. Oh, I kind of moved it around. Let's match that up again. All right, here we are. So I didn't make any decisions on like what would be the best diagonal for this or anything. I'm just keeping it loose, keeping it in improv land. All right, I'm snipping off that one that we started with. And now we'll turn it around 180 degrees and sew on the other side of that line. Okay, and then we have our second piece here. Ooh, man, I sewed that last one crooked, but we're okay. Okay, all done with that. Snip the pieces apart, and we should have the pieces we need for our chevron here. So I'm going to just snip them with the scissors. I think in this case, just because my cutting board isn't big enough for these, I'm just going to snip down that white line, that diagonal line that we did here. Okay, and those are the pieces of the first side of the half chevron, so we can decide what piece goes where, but ooh, that looks fun. There we go. That could be one chevron there, half chevron, and then let's cut this one. This one will be going in the other direction. So fun. I always love the surprise of this. Even if it's just a solid pattern, you know, not all pieced like this, it's still interesting once you see it as a half square triangle. There we go. Yeah, I'm totally loving it too, Michelle. It's just a fun process, just kind of like a freeing process. All right, now this one, if we do it this way, I'll have this weird rectangle in the middle. So yeah, so maybe I want this one to be the one that goes in the other direction. Oh, I'm still going to have that weird rectangle. It's just going to be here. Well, that might be kind of cool. Let's see how we want this. Oh, but here we have these trying to match up. Okay, I don't like that. I'm going to keep this as this side, and we'll just have this weird line going through it. I'm okay with that. And then this will go, wait a sec, like that. And that, and we will have a big big chevron here. So let's press these. We have to press the seams open yet, but then we'll be able to sew this one and this one. I could rearrange it a little bit, but I wanted to keep them together, the ones that we did together. I mean, like I could switch and match, but you know, I guess it wouldn't matter all that much. I could do that. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe this one goes here. There, then that red piece is kind of off to the side. I don't know, I kind of liked it actually going through the middle now. It's like a weird little fun line. So I think we're gonna keep it like this. So let's press these all and kind of place them together. Then we can sew the chevron part. We have all the elements of the chevron now. These pieces keep getting bigger and bigger. Okay, piece number one. He goes like that. Like giving the seam a little press to start out with. Kind of sets the seam, lets the thread sink into the fabric a little, in theory. Okay, piece number two. Oh, I love the new iron. So, and I actually got it from mastrap.com, but this one, I didn't actually get this one. This one is the same one that I got on mastrap.com. I think I might have put a link to it here. It's not there anymore. They kind of do little sales here and there. But when I told a friend that I got this, she's like, oh, that's the one I have at home. Do you want to borrow it for a little and see if you like it? And then I said, sure. She wasn't going to use it for a little while, so I'm testing it out before mine actually comes, and I'm totally loving it so far. It is cordless, which is amazeballs. I love it. And then it just has this little base that kind of recharges it, and that it sits in when you're not using it. Ooh. And that's been just a nice feature. That has a cord. So the base has a cord, but while I'm actually ironing, I don't have to have it. I don't have to be attached to anything, which has been so helpful. such a neat little luxury not having to have a cord. Okay, there we are. All right, we are ready to sew. Here is what it's starting to look like. I'm stoked. Let's just get the angle right. All right, so I'm going to sew these two together. Then I'll sew these two together. We'll press it again, and then we'll sew down the middle. And that's our last seam for this piece here. So I'm just going to put them together one at a time. This is that edge I'm going to sew on. Matching up the seams as best I can, and there we go. Oh, nice! It's worth it, the iron, for sure. I totally love it so far. It is heavy, like it has a weight to it, kind of like a vintage sewing machine a little bit, but I found that to be really nice because I've let the weight of it do a lot of the work for me. And it has, it's pointed on each side, which is a little weird because you can't set it, up on a base or anything because it has no base. So you have to put it back into the charging station. So you need it nearby. But it's been nice that you can go in either direction really easily. Yes, the grippets are back up on Mass-Drop right now. And it looks like they're doing super duper well. So if you missed out on the grippets on Mass-Drop, I did put a link for that here. If you missed out the first time, then they are back at Mass-Drop on sale right now. You read that the bumpy shelf liner could be used instead of grippets. Oh, that's interesting. Bumpy shelf liner. So what, you just glue those onto like a piece of wood or something, or? Like, I get that the shelf liner is grippy, but then you don't have like the see-through or the like little, having them so you can grab them with your hands or whatever. I think there's something like $20 on Mass-Drop right now, and I think they're usually like $40 or something. I think that's what the Mass-Drop thing showed. I'm not positive, but I think I put a link to it if you wanted to check it out. To the grippets. And by grippets, this is what I'm talking about. It's these little acrylic, like they're kind of like an acrylic ruler. They're thicker though, and they have these little grippies on the bottom and with like little bumps on the top. And it's to help free motion quilt. So you don't have to wear the gloves. You can just kind of hold on these little hand guys. You can move them around everywhere. And you can actually also use them as like a ruler guide too. I think so, Jennifer. I would, I'm not positive, but I'm sure they say on the site. They probably do. I think it might be free in the US, but it might not be. I don't know. I would just check it out. They might. All right, we got our two sides. Let's give them a press, and then we can sew them together. I will clip them. By clip, I mean like pin them, not cutting them. I've been saying, I have the bad habit lately of saying that I'll clip them together, and what I mean is wonder clips. I don't mean like clipping a corner with a scissors or something, which is like the actual definition of clipping usually. Ooh, look at it all together. It just blends as one like crazy mass of stuff. I really like it. Okay, let's do the other one. Let's see, where is this sewn together? Up here. Yeah, like pop art. Yeah, totally. Use big circles on. Oh, big circles on not with the non-skid stuff. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I suppose you could get like cans of, or lids of jars or something, and then put the rubber bits on the bottom, the shelf liner. That would totally work. Okay, there we go. All right, I kind of think it's kind of fun with that little red stripe through it. I like it now. Then there's a little white stripe above it from the salvages. I think it's neat. All right, let's wonder clip these guys together now. So we have our two halves. Man, I didn't get that very straight here, but oh well. Let's flip this guy over. Yeah, it's going to be a little weird. I'm going to have to watch out for that. I might sew it with a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch seam allowance, since I have this weird spot right here where it's not very, like I didn't do the seams quite right. They're not matching up. But let's clip that in the center. And I want to clip them at the end and in the middle a little bit too. And the only reason I'm clipping them, or pinning them basically, the only reason I'm pinning them right now is because now the piece is so big that it's really floppy and stuff, and it's going to be a little more difficult for me to keep things together. So we're just throw some clips through it. It'll be good. Yeah, this is going to be pretty wonky, but oh well. All right, let's do it. Then we'll press it and we will have a chevron for the evening. This is another nice big one. Yeah, so maybe over the weekend, we'll see. I'll probably clean up here a little bit over the weekend, and then I'll lay out, or I'll just throw them all on the floor and take a photo, and so I can share all the chevrons right now. I gotta move that cutting board. That's making it not as slippery a surface here. All right, I'm gonna grab the stiletto, help me through this little part here. There we go. I know, I'm excited to see the whole thing too, Gretchen. All right, I'm gonna get that seam underneath the presser foot. Got away from me a little. Ugh. Snip these. This is where I must have started the new thread. All right, turn that off. We are done with that sewing. All we have to do is press this guy, and we'll have a chevron. All right, back over here. Get that guy out of the way. We're a little too big for the mat now. All right, let's open it up. Pretty. Scooch it up. I think I might try pressing this guy open, just because I think this seam where it all meets up in the middle here is going to be a little thick. So let's just flip that around. There we go. Here is where it's really nice, just using the weight of the iron. There we go. Scooch it up a little bit more. I need a tiny bit bigger area for pressing. Okay, there we are. Let's check it out. I'm going to get you up high here. All right. And here is this guy. Oh, I love how piecey he is. So, all right, let's go through the chevrons that I have right now. So we have this chevron. We have this itty bitty bitty chevron. So this was the one that was actually that I accidentally sewed together weird, so I couldn't put it on the front. So this will be in the back. He can sit right there. We have, what else? We have this one right here. This was made with all of our itty bitty scraps. So there we go. All the little mess of scraps. We have, oh, this is the one that we did the other night. That's about, oh wait, no, this is like the second one we did. This one was a little wonky. Like we had, this side was actually a little bit bigger than this side. So that's why they don't match up perfectly. So this one was extra wonky. This one's maybe just a hair smaller than the one we did here. And then we have the monster size one that we did the other day. So this one's the biggest one for sure. So this will be kind of like the showcasey one, I'm thinking, on the back. It's the most simple too. We just had the little stripes together, and then this one got a little bit more into it because we had to add to it because it wasn't big enough for the square. So we added this panel to it, but it's mostly just the stripes. But yeah, so this is the biggest one, and man, I don't know, I'm really liking the one from tonight though. It's like the perfect amount of improv piecing. I'm digging it. I think it's going to be really fun to start laying these all out together. And we still actually do have a couple little scraps. So we do have these scraps yet. We could probably, you know, if we cut this and we could get a couple squares out of this and make a few smaller ones. I think we're gonna try and do that. We're gonna still try and make some half chevrons. This one I'm not sure I'm gonna keep because this one has those kind of not so nice selvages in it. So this one might actually, we might just retire this guy. But I don't know, I think we can get another chevron out of this, a smaller chevron. So I might save that guy. But all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll call it an evening. I'll show you what this looks like, you know, with a human next to it so you can see the size. Hello, so here is the size of this one. So not as big as the one from, I think that was Thursday, but here we go. Oh, I think it's so fun, all the crazy little pieces. And not only, I mean, I think it looks like neat and abstract, but I love that we're sewing with basically garbage, right? This is all the like little scraps, little salvages from the front of the quilt that we probably would have just tossed. And look, this is a large block to get out of like scraps, right? So I mean, we do have the red. That's you know, new fabric, but still, I'm loving it. So here's for size difference. Here's the one that we did tonight, and that really big one is. Here's the really big one. So that one's a bit larger here, a little simpler, but yeah, loving it. Again, the one from tonight. So awesome! I will get that up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies if you wanted to watch this again, the replay. And awesome, I think we just have that one tiny chevron to do yet, and then we can really start laying this out, seeing what we got. So I think, yeah, maybe Monday will be our last day here of just working on the chevrons, and then maybe Tuesday I'll move the camera out to the living room and we'll lay it out and maybe cut really big pieces of the red to kind of fill it in, and then Wednesday maybe we sew those red pieces together. I think that'll probably be the plan. So awesome. Thanks again, guys. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. If you're going to have some crazy winter storm warning like we are here, stay inside, get some crafting done. And the replay of the Sulky webinar is up now. So I sent an email with that link today. So check your emails, check your spams if my email's potentially getting your spam folder. But one went out today. So if you're on my list, my email list, you should have an email from me. All right. So that is that. I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Good night.